Listen, I've never had any problem expressing my opinions, but what we're doing here is bigger than that. These are conversations that need to be had in an unfiltered way. Drag racing's all I've ever done. It's all I care to do. I respect the history, I appreciate how far we've come, but I want more for this sport, and I'll fight for it. It's uncut, it's unfiltered. This is the show of shows. The biggest names in drag racing. No holds barred. This is the great American motorsport. Drag racing. Prove me wrong. I'll wait. Hey gang, Westbuck here, Drag Illustrated Magazine, checking in. It is Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Hope you're doing well out there. And as always, thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate and discuss all things drag racing. Remember, help us spread the gospel of drag racing. Join the movement to elevate the sport of drag racing. Please click like, click subscribe, click share. Help us be a part of this. It helps us so much putting these stars, the stars of drag racing, as such as our guests today, in front of a bigger audience. That's our goal here at all times, is to get more eyeballs on the men and women that make this sport so special. But it's a special post-World Series of Pro Mod, post-Drag Illustrated Winter Series episode today. We've got a ton of stuff in store for you guys. First and foremost, we're going to be joined about 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time by the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, Fletcher Cox, Super Bowl champion turned drag racing superstar, who scored not only the win in Pro 10-5 competition at this past weekend's Drag Illustrated World Series of Problem, but also locked up the first ever Pro 10-5 Winter Series World Championship. Super excited to check in with Fletcher and talk about his program and plans for the future. Then at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will be joined by Mark Beatty, who he and his Redline Oil brand stepped up as the presenting sponsor of the World Series of Pro Mod. He was on the property with his team from Redline. Art, Dan, the whole gang was down there taking in the week's festivities. So excited to check in with Mark for a little bit. And we will round out the show with inarguably drag racing's biggest new star, certainly not a stranger to stardom, but reaching a new level of stardom this year after his monumental victory at the World Series of Pro Mod. Of course, you know I'm talking about Aaron Stanfield. So about 3:30 p.m., we will hear from the champ himself, fresh off that incredible performance. But before we get much further, let me introduce my co-host on the show today, the one, the only JT Hudson. Buddy, you sounded tired when you were in the green room a minute ago. You worn out?
I am worn out.
Me and you both, bro. Me and you
both.
It's been a long
winter, you know?
It's so...
happened. Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, I was thinking, if you just think about how many nights we spent at Yard House, dude, in the last 90 days, I figured it up the other night, we've been to Yard House at least 21 times. We've eaten dinner 21 nights at least out of the last 90 days.
That's actually where I'm coming. I'm actually live here from inpatient treatment. I'm rehabbing, trying to kick the cheese curd habit and ribeyes. So
that's exactly. I don't know if you saw this, but it's already popping off in the comments. JT Tramp Stamp Hudson. For those that don't know, JT made a. I think we've got to get this out in the open, boss. I'm not trying to put you in the hot seat, but for those that don't know, my buddy JT, my brother from another mother, JT made a bet with Aaron Stanfield and the Elite Motorsports team earlier in the last week, that if he were to win the World Series of Pro Mod, JT would get a tattoo, a tramp stamp tattoo. So anyways, JT, looks like we're headed to a tattoo parlor in the coming days or weeks.
I've literally been drawing it out, tramp stamp. I had Aaron sign something, take a picture of it and send it to me. Because I was like, if I'm going to get a tramp stamp, I'm just going to get it to look like a stamp, like you approved a document, and then approved by Aaron Stanfield. Like when I ran my mouth off, I was like, there's some badass sons of bitches on the property, and he's one of them. Of course, we knew that, but the odds of one guy, really, because every matchup's almost a quarter flip in the field. Everybody's so close, right?
Pretty much.
He starts going rounds, and I'm down there at Tech down, later in the day, and he's coming by, and everybody just kind of looking at me like, "You made an appointment yet?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then even when he ran, I'm standing there with Spencer Hyde and the whole crew, and he makes a hell of a run, and man, it was just electric. Everybody's jumping up in the air. And I didn't know whether to jump in and celebrate or like be sad that I was getting at 48 years old. I'm going to be getting my first tattoo, name stamp of another man's name, or whatever.
Bro, I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it.
We'll get so many memories out of it down the road and laughs. If I can make one person laugh, I'd probably do it.
Well, I mean, I don't know that they're going to let you out of this one, boss. So I think this is happening. So we can probably create some content out of this. If I go with you and get a tattoo, I'll pass out. It'll be a whole thing, and I'll sweat. And
well, I think you got to go.
Oh, I'm going.
And then we'll get a videographer to catch you passing out and shit. And
I waited 40 years to get my first tattoo because I was so afraid of embarrassing my dad that I just didn't want to do it. And I finally broke down when I was kind of in the midst of a midlife crisis when I just turned 40, and I'm like, okay, scared of needles my whole life, pass out. I mean, I've told this story, but it's like, since I was a little kid, I've been like deathly afraid of needles. I'll never forget 4th grade, Miss Maloney's class, Ray Miller in Kirksville, Missouri. We're being forced to watch one of those Dare film strips, right? And like the first one is like, don't do drugs, kids, and then burp, click, click. The next frame is like somebody smoking a cigarette or whatever. And then it's like, bloop, bloop. Next frame was like somebody drinking beer, right? And I came from a household where like nobody drank, no smoking, like real straight lace household. And then, yeah, sounds like your house. And then the third film strip, like they went straight hardcore. It was like, boop, beep. It was like the second frame was a Budweiser. Boop, boop, click, click. Dude shooting up heroin. And I'm like, clunk. And I just blacked out. Wow, and man. I woke up in the nurse's office, and that was like kind of became a core memory for me. And now, like every time I go to get a blood draw or anything, I mean, literally my entire adult life, I just pass out immediately. Like as soon as they start talking about giving me a shot, I pass out. So
funny thing about your tattoo is you about passed out when you got it, and I about passed out when I saw it.
I did pass out when I got it. This is the funny part. I made Alicia go with me. I said, "Hey, listen,
we could have went over this a little bit before you got a installed."
Dude, I love my tattoo. I go, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm doing this no matter what. Like I'm doing this, and I've wanted the same tattoo for like 20 years. So I was going to get it. You couldn't have talked me out of it if you wanted to. So I meet a buddy down here, a car guy down here in DFW. Go to his tattoo shop, and I told him, I said, hey, like, listen, I don't do very well with needles, so like this could be like an all day deal, but I'm not leaving until I have a tattoo. And he's like, nah, buddy, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And I sit down on the chair and take my shirt off, and he plops the little outline thing on, like the blue liney deal, out like a light. I woke up face down on the linoleum, felt like I'd slept all night, and Alicia's freaking out, and everybody in there is like, dude, you fell out. And I'm like, fell out of what? Where am I? And I'm looking around. I'm like, oh shit, I passed out at the tattoo parlor. And so then I had to live with that humiliation. And then Alicia's like, we're leaving. Let's go. This is a bad idea. And I'm like, you can go home.
Let's just probably watch us give ourselves stitches and all kinds of shit over the years.
Oh yeah, she's not phased, dude. Homegirl she's got a strong stomach. Like she's a nurse. You know what I mean? So she's not bothered by any of this stuff. And she was not thrilled with me passing out, but I stayed. I told him, like, I'm not leaving. So if I pass out again, just wake me up and we'll keep going. And fortunately, I made it through the rest of it with no problems. But
awesome. Yeah, Aaron actually let me out of it if I wanted to yesterday. He said, dude, you don't have to actually go get it, but you may have to get a fake one or something. And I said, man, I'm a guy of my word, and we'll get some good kicks out of it. And what better tattoo to get when you're for your first tattoo and you're 48, the only reason I'm tattoo free is once I want one, I always say, if I want it just as much a year later, I go get it. And that's kept me pretty well tattoo free. And then we got busy because I wanted a sleeve for what, like 8 years, but I haven't got one because.
Well, that's a process, bro. Like that's
set down. And so I wanted it to be a timeline of my like first 40 years. Like MIP, Darlington County Jail. No, I'm joking.
Exactly, right? Tell the story of your life. I like that idea, actually. I'm here for it,
Soldiers
man.
race cars.
You'd have to grow another arm. Oh, yeah. Our boys, JT and the whole Tin Soldier gang in the house. Looks like they hooked my boy up. You looking good, bro. How about, well, hey, real quick, before we get Fletcher on here, this music's going to put me to sleep. So somebody should pull the music back. And then let's, I've got this badass recap video that I just want to play real quick and kind of break this down momentarily. I've got a couple of them. You've seen this one.
Final race of the Drag Illustrated Winter Series.
The best in the world. That's what this is. I've heard every word this week. Baddest, quickest, fastest. No, the best. The best drag racers on the planet Earth.
Anymore.
It cannot be argued.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
3 times in a row, we packed this place out. Snowbirds, USG Nationals, World Series of Mod. Thank you to everybody who came out. Sponsors, fans, drivers, tuners, teams, all the crew from Drag Illustrated crew, the BMP crew, the people that we bring in to do these events.
Absolutely.
Everybody nailed it.
And all these racers. I mean, we celebrate one guy tonight. There was 32 that raced today. But there are hundreds of guys that have towed across the country, traveled across oceans to be a part of this magic we're making here. We're the luckiest dudes in the world living the dream.
The saddest part of this whole deal.
I'm going to be depressed
we
for
have to
2
wait
weeks.
we have to wait until December to get it cranking again. But
let's do another one.
we might have to.
Summer Series, Drag Illustrated Summer Series.
We got to figure this out. But
right.
but guys, seriously, thank you so much. That's a wrap. BMP Drag Illustrated crushed it again. Set the bar.
Aaron, get this thing out of here.
Yeah, fire this thing up, man. Get out of here.
Oh, dude, what I mean, for me, one of the coolest things.
I got it fired on the last pass because it didn't end up firing right there. And that
I know, right?
You know,
isn't that crazy? Yeah, we couldn't get it started in the winner's circle for those that don't know, but we will. I got to tell you, man, for me, I thought I would spend a little bit of time just like going through highs and like high moments. You know, I mean, there's so many and it's hard to even unpack. I've been trying, like I've sat down to like write a Facebook post like 15 times in the last 2 days. And it's just like, there's so much I feel like I need to say, but
it's hard
like,
to cap it, man. Like
it is really hard.
You know, I even thought about that while we're there. Like, how do you convey what's going on? You know, it's almost impossible, to be honest with you.
There is some magic happening around this deal. I mean, first and foremost, I got to give it up to God, right? Like this was one of the events that I was going into and our forecast looked dicey. And I was like, man, please don't let this one be the one, God. Like, don't let this be the one that we've got to fight, you know, weather. Please don't let this be the one. But whatever it's supposed to be, it'll be. We'll figure it out. We'll race on Sunday. We'll race on Tuesday. We'll do whatever it takes. We're going to crown a winner. We're going to crown a champion. We're going to see this thing through to completion. And it was crazy on Friday as the forecast just got later in the day, later in the day, later in the day, later in the day. And I'm going, okay, is this really happening? And literally within minutes of finishing the last pair of cars down the track on Friday night, it starts raining. And I'm like, thank you, God. Like you can tell that God has his hand on what we're doing here. And then Saturday, I'm getting all these texts from people worried about the forecast. And I'm like, man, every fiber of my being says we're fine. Like I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not studying the weather map. I have Gavin and Mike to handle that. And I trust them to keep me in the loop and tell me what I need to know. But I just had faith, and the same thing happened Saturday night. Like after this whole deal's over and we're picking up, it starts to sprinkle a little bit, right? Mist. And I'm just going, what an incredible thing to like, weather is one of those things that can, you know, nuke these deals. When Mother Nature changes her mind, you know, there's just nothing you can do about it. And, you know, I tell people all the time that we labor over so many things: schedule, track prep, run order, just hospitality and logistics, and all these different battles we're fighting during the course of all these events. But the weather can put a stop to it all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And it's a stressor like I've never experienced, but it's also par for the course. It's part of the live outdoor events business, so it's something that you've kind of got to become numb to. And I was just so grateful that we got the race off. And then you look at the turnout. I mean, I told you guys and I told our team internally that, like, unfortunately, the damage is already done. The weather, the meteorologists kind of, they either help us or hurt us starting Wednesday. You know what I mean? When the forecast for the weekend starts circulating. Thursday is circulating. People are starting to either make their plans or change their plans. And when I saw the forecast on the 6 o'clock news Thursday, I'm like, okay, this could impact us, right? I mean, people may stay inside. They may choose to do something else. They may choose not to travel.
Thursday crowd was bonkers though. Like
I couldn't believe it, dude. And when I saw the crowd on Thursday, our pre-sale tickets indicated that we were about to have a barn burner. I knew if the good Lord was willing and the creeks didn't rise, we were going to have one hell of a drag race. And I'm like you, when I saw the crowd on Thursday and the parking lot starting to fill, I go, okay, Friday and Saturday they're going to be bananas. And Friday was probably double or better Thursday. And then Saturday was absolute pandemonium. And
Friday I was surprised because that storm was just hanging up in Tampa. You know, like it was just hooked around Bradenton area, and you could see it from the track. Like, right, it was dark up there, and you're going, oh man. I mean, like if I was close, it would probably keep me at home. But if you traveled, you're going no matter what. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and that's one of the things that I feel like we need to take a minute and just shout out our fans because they dealt with. It got chilly earlier in the week. It warmed up on Saturday. It was the hottest day of the year so far in Bradenton, Sarasota on Saturday. Incredible to think that we went from like jacket weather and a rainy forecast to like the hottest day of the year so far. And the fans, we are so lucky. That's what this whole deal is about. Like the fans are what make this deal so special. These are not casual fans. These are not people who got free tickets. These are people who casted their vote with their wallet, with their time, with their energy, and they came out by the thousands. By all marks, we had our biggest event ever at the World Series of Pro Mod, and it's big because of the fans. Like it's big because of their energy. They bring energy to my racers and they elevate the whole deal. And having all those people there, like that's the difference maker. Like having that place packed out, having it buzzing, having traffic jams and traffic backed up, like it's so important to what we're doing here. And I can't thank them enough. We got an awesome video from Chris Jennings and his team at Project Prime, who I can't say enough about. They really step in and help us fill a lot of gaps. They help us with our signage at the racetrack. They do all of our vinyl at the racetrack, the walls in the center, the ground, the floor decals, everything that we put in place. Those guys helped me a ton. Huge shout out to Chris and his team. But there was a moment on Saturday when the stands were packed and we had a little bit of downtime between a session. And I go, I want to go hang out with those people. So we got all of our goodie bags, all of our free stuff, and huge shout out to all the teams that donated stuff, all the sponsors that donated stuff for us to give out to the crowd. I got a bunch of Mardi Gras beads, which were a hit. And we took it to the grandstands. And this was like one of my favorite moments of the whole weekend.
You guys, right? I'm going to the drag races. I relate more to y'all than anybody here because that's what I am. I'm a fan of drag racing. I love this sport. I love this people, and I've wanted to see them have more. We work tirelessly to elevate the sport of drag racing. We have stars and cars from all walks of the racing life. They're here to fight tooth and nail to put on a show for you and to etch their name in the history books as the winner of the World Series of Pro Mod.
How sick is that?
That's awesome.
Right? I love that video, dude. I just couldn't be happier with how that whole deal went down, getting to be up in the grandstands with those folks and taking pictures. And I mean, to me, the whole deal is like literally a dream come true. Like I can't even, when I got home late Sunday night, it's like, I can't believe this even happened. And I mean, I do think it's worth mentioning, like if you just look through the Pro Mod qualifying order, bro, like the coming together that is happening here. I mean, Eric Gustafson, Jason Harris, Johnny Camp, Stevie Jackson, Lyle Barnett, Derek Menholt, Victor Alvarez, Sidney Frigo. Like these are names that are well known in the door slammer drag racing space. Randy Weatherford, Tommy DeApril, Ethan Stedding. Like these are Billy Banica. But then you throw in the mix some of these other cats like Greg Blevins Jr., who is largely known from his time in radial tire racing. Yeah. You think about Callie Mills, a star of No Prep Kings. You think about Ned Dunphy. Dumped himself right in the 18th spot with, I mean, this is Hot Rod Drag and Drive, Hot Rod Drag Week's reigning defending champion. You think about guys like Ryan Martin and Sean Ellington and Robin Roberts, like diving into this deal, being in the mix. Some OGs like Joey Martin that, are returning to the scene. Like And that's leaving out Aaron Stanfield, who went on to win the race, an NHRA Pro Stock superstar, Erica Enders, Kai Kelly, Melanie Salemi, like these people coming from all their little pockets, right? From other different sanctions and series, coming to one place at one time, to me is so special and so unique that I really can't say enough about it. And even the fans we had, I mean, Doug Coletta, reigning, defending Top Fuel World Championship driver, getting ready to go defend his NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series Championship this weekend at the NHRA Gator Nationals to kick off the NHRA season. Its 75th season. Absolutely incredible. He was there. His son Mitch was racing in Super Pro. We had Alexis DeJoria, NHRA Funny Car Superstar, Ida Zetterstrom, Top Fuel driver, Sean Reed, Top Fuel driver, Jasmine Salinas, Top Fuel driver. I mean, they were there as fans. And that is something that I've been begging for years, because we all know we drag racers don't make the best of spectators. Yes. But when these moments in time happen, we have to go support them. We have to go be visible. We have to go be part of the scene. And I can't tell all those people that I just mentioned and hundreds others, thank you enough for supporting this crazy idea I had about a decade ago. I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would be where we are today with this event. And it's only because of, you know, all of these incredible racers, our incredible sponsors, obviously our partners at Bradenton Motorsports Park, Vic and Josh and the whole gang down there that helped us make these things a reality. But here we are, man. And I believe I told Mark Beatty, who will be joined by here in just about a half hour, that I won't rest until the Winter Series is undoubtedly the pinnacle of drag racing. And I think we are well on our way, big dog.
We are, man. We are. Speaking of World Series, it looks like there's a big guy with a bat in our green room down here.
A big guy with a bat. I know exactly who you're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, let's give it up. Let's give it up for former NFL Super Bowl winning, Super Bowl champion, a dear friend of ours here at Drag Illustrated. We've watched this young man earn his stripes in the sport of drag racing, do these things the right way. You know, crawl, walk, run, grow a team over time, stay committed, fight the good fight, do everything that's required to become a champion. And now he is not only a champion on the football field, he's a champion on the drag strip. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod Pro 10.5 shootout, the one, the only, Fletcher Cox.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Yes, sir. What's up? But you're the only person in the world that can make a 5-foot-long baseball bat look normal.
Song too.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, it's just a weird flex right now. That's all.
Look at this.
You got the Bo Jackson going on right now. We need to make a poster
here. We gotta get this thing. We gotta get this thing somewhere. You gotta put it somewhere, but we're gonna let it sit there right there for now where it's been.
Fletcher, man, congratulations. Super excited for you. I got to say, selfishly, this is a fantastic thing for our brand. You're a great ambassador for our sport. You're a world-class competitor, but you're a world-class human being, which falls right in line with what we're trying to do, is put our sport's best and brightest at the forefront. And I appreciate the human you are and the opportunity you give us to have you involved with what we're doing, man. Take us through I know this wasn't any cakewalk, right? I mean, this was our biggest field of Pro 10.5 cars that we've had. We've seen Pro Street in PDRA, which I will talk about this in a minute, but I am shit canning the name Pro 10.5 and adopting Pro Street, and we are doubling down on Pro Street moving forward. But anyways, I digress. Just take us through like what was undoubtedly a day where I saw in one of your quotes or some of the press we were generating on your behalf that this was a day where you felt like you really had to step up. You had to rise to the occasion and at times be the difference maker. So just kind of give us your mindset headed into World Series of Pro Mod, what you guys personally wanted to accomplish, and we'll dissect how you got here.
Well, the biggest thing was just coming into that series knowing that, like, all right, the first two races, obviously, like you said, we didn't have the showing that we wanted, right? We still had 8-9 cars with us, and the biggest part was just going into it, just with me getting more laps in the car, more seat time, and just trying to win a race. Obviously the first race, I come out, go to the finals, we lose in the finals to Big Booger and Little Booger, which we found out we had a problem with the car. We got it fixed, and then coming to the second race, obviously, with with a fixed race car, and let's be honest, like I laid an egg on a tree. I went 400 on a tree, something that you know that's just not who I am, and I feel like I let the team down. And then like coming into once you announced everything about the payout plus the championship, and I knew where my focus needed to be, which was, hey, you laid an egg, you're still third in points, you're half round out of winning the championship. Like, let's go get it. And that's all the talk that the team and I had, was to focus and coming into last week. And it wasn't pretty. I mean, we come off the trailer, I damn near put the car on the fucking wall being stupid. Drove the car a little too far, almost put the car on the wall. So I said, whoa, like, let's not get too excited, big boy. And we had our struggles, like a few test passes, and then Phil Schuler, the man that he's got a handle on the race car. We come out Friday morning, go 387, and I come to the top end. I said, I got my race car back. Let's go win. But at the end of the day, our goal was to come there, me focus and refocus. I mean, some nights I was in the bed by 9:30. That's how bad I wanted that fucking championship.
Dude, I love it, bro. I mean, just to hear you talk about it with that level of intensity is so spectacular, man. And I mean, you got to give it up for the team, right? I mean, Phil Schuler, everybody that's involved with your operation. I know Jeffrey Barker's been a big part of this deal over the course of the season. You've got a real deal race car, man. I mean, you lived in the low 390s. Obviously, you cracked off that 387 on Friday. But I mean, for one of the guys that's still fighting the good fight with a big block on the bottle, a nitrous car, the only one. I mean, I think you got to take a little additional pride in the fact that you're doing this hanging gorilla flames out the old girl all the way down through there.
Dude, we have to. Like I said, it's a nitrous car, and I'm the only nitrous car that's been there the whole series. But if you look at PDRA, me and Blake, we're on the only nitrous cars. We're trying to keep nitrous alive in that class, which, huge announcement. Like, we were planning to run the Pro Mod in the first race in Darlington, but I'll be driving the Pro Street car, in Darlington and here in a few weeks, PDRA. So the Pro Mod just won't be, we're not trying to rush that process. So I'll be driving a Pro Street car, but the only nitrous car out there, just keeping it alive and keeping the class fun. It's a heavy pick, but somehow Phil Schuler and the team, Andy, Joe, my girlfriend Casey, like, she keep us humbled in the pits. Mr. Mark, like, everybody that's there, to make it all get done, and we have so much fun racing.
Dude, I got to tell you, Casey, like, her reaction on the starting line, that's the only thing that I hate you guys miss as drivers. I wish I could lean in and hit pause, go grab your ass and bring you, because you deserve to see. I mean, she was crying, shaking. Everybody's like, the energy is just ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy, man. And you see how much this all means and everything that goes into this stuff. I couldn't have been. It was special, brother. It was absolutely special. And then your interview on the top end, I'm like, this is so picture perfect. This is exactly what I wanted as a drag racing movie. And by God, we made us a drag racing movie.
I was walking around telling people that I helped sponsor that car.
Yeah, you do. Thank you. Listen, because you know what? All our beer was sponsored by JT. We just wanted his cooler on the back of his truck on Saturday night. Beer.
Oh, dude. What the whole thing, man. I mean, so you brought up the Pro Mod. I mean, this has all happened pretty fast. I mean, for those that are, haven't been following Fletcher Cox's involvement in drag racing, this isn't anything necessarily new. We saw you come up through the grudge ranks, radial tire race, gold dust, all the cool hot rods you've had over the years and various things, racing with Nova Joe Albrecht. Then making the decision to jump behind the wheel yourself. You're obviously an athlete. You can tell that you treat yourself like an athlete, slimmed way down, change your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Going from getting tackled and beating people up on the football field to, being the man behind the wheel of a race car. Like, what is in your prowess? I mean, you've made a lot of progress in a short amount of time. I know you're smart enough to know that everything in life is reps and sets, right? And so you're getting those reps in, but I'm just curious, like, what does the future look like? I mean, I feel the sport of drag racing badly needs Fletcher Cox to remain involved for a long time. So like, is it make the move to pro modified sooner rather than later? Is that a Winter Series 26, 27 project? I mean, how do you see this thing kind of all working out?
We're just, I had a talk with the team. Obviously, it'll be a KTR touring car with obviously Phil with some assistance and Jeffrey, obviously a whole team KTR deal. I think the biggest thing is the car can go fast right now. It is if Fletcher is ready to go that fast right now, right? Is the big guy ready to go that fast? And we all know it's going to take reps. We all know it's going to take time. I'm a lot, like I said, like right now I drive. My car's got a 3-speed Rosslyn in it, and then the new car to have a Liberty in it. Like I never drove a Liberty, never put a Liberty in reverse. Like those little things and details that I need to be comfortable with. And Jeffrey Barker always told me, like, don't get too comfortable, never get too cocky, because these race cars will humble you in 1 second. And that stays in the back of my head like all the time. So, like
humble you and or hurt you.
Correct.
And that's the thing that I like. That's one of the things that keeps me up at night is knowing the inherent danger of what we're doing. I think all of us kind of become desensitized to how crazy this shit actually is. But like when I'm at home alone and thinking about this stuff and all these guys we've got coming, like I care about everybody. And I'm going, like, the thing that weighs on me the most is just recognizing and appreciating the danger. Like we kind of gloss over it, right? Because everybody's a badass and a tough guy. But the reality is, like, I've lost friends to this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, these things will hurt you, and they'll hurt you fast. And I think, I don't say that to scare anyone, but I think it's part of the magic. Like, we've got to talk about that more. It's no secret that bull riders are risking their lives when they climb on the back of one of them things. And Absolutely. I think that needs to be talked about, that like when you strap into that thing, this thing is dangerous. I mean, they're safe. They're as safe as we can make them. We work with every manufacturer. We fancy ourselves or pride ourselves on bringing people in that have a respect for the craft and aren't up there taking shortcuts or doing the wrong thing. But even the best laid plans can go awry, right? And I just have a lot of respect for that, because we've seen people in our sport that have the resources perhaps, or have the right sponsor, that can go get in over their head real quick, right?
Yeah.
Because they have money to do so. Where does that come from, Fletcher? Is that, like, where does that self-awareness come from? Is that just a lifetime in football, in just traditional sports, or is that some part of your upbringing? Because I don't, it's not, I'm not saying you're alone in that, but I know you have been around this long enough to see plenty of well-to-do people dive in and get way over their head real fast.
Well, I look at it like this, right? You spoke about it earlier when you said people rise to the occasion, right? And you look at it like in life, you don't rise to the occasion. You rise as a driver. You rise to your level of training, your level of driving. Like, things happen in that car so quick, and that's really how you look at it. You just rise to the level of your training, rise to your level of driving. The occasion is going to be there, right? And when that sticks with you, then you go with, all right, am I driving this car too far? What am I doing? But myself, I go out, like I watch in-car videos of guys. I'm always hanging on the fence, like watching pro mods. I'm watching people drive, these drivers that's been doing it forever. I'm watching them drive. Say, oh, he was in trouble. He lifted at the right time. Okay, now put myself in that scenario where, okay, all right, you lifted. Okay, oh, you didn't like something. No problem.
That's good to have. Poland's asking in here about that we need to talk about you being on top of the tree all weekend. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday on the phone, Fletcher. And it's probably going to get harder as this continues on and the races throughout the season and next year. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, pro mod, I was consistent 40s. I mean, the bow run, I went 17 because I said,
yeah,
I need to get on the tree. I said, let me try to get up on the wheel a little bit. I went 17 on the tree, and I was like, all right, I'm okay. If I need to get on it, I can push it a little bit, but like 40s is not going to cut it in pro modified racing, right? I need to be 00 in teens, and that's going to be, that's it. Like, there's some badass drivers out there in pro mod. You're looking at Jason Harris, you're looking at the Steve Kings, you're looking at the Travis Harvey's. You're looking at all these some of the best out there. Like, I got to be on my stuff, and that's again, where I talked about where you rise to your level of driving, you rise to your level of training. It's where
I couldn't agree more, man. I mean, and like for me, the level of competition has reached a point in, at the Winter Series where I don't think there's ever been more pressure on the back of drivers in drag racing than there is in the Winter Series right now. Because you can go, there are plenty of places you can go that if you're, you might have the guy covered, you're racing in the first round by a 10th. You know what I mean? You may have this dude covered and you can kind of lay up or play it safe, but we've reached a point now where, like, I think on average, the Pro Mod fields were separated by 0.05 of a second across 3 races.
Spencer Hyde basically won this son of a bitch by a hole shot and everybody throughout the eliminations. I mean, he really did.
And it wasn't even as tight
on the 3.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't even as tight then in 2023 as it is now. I mean, and it's, to me, that's really the most exciting part about this is that's how you make stars, is by making it about the driver. I mean, it'd be one thing if Fletcher went out there and had the whole field covered by 0.3 and just dog walked like, that'd be cool in its own way, maybe. But to me, the magic is like, hey, dude, this is a gunfight. Like, these are bad dudes having to go out here and fight tooth and nail for every round win. And I got to give you I don't know that a lot of drivers would have bounced back from that one-off round at US Streets the way you did. Tell me what that process looked like. Because, that was so uncharacteristic for you. But I thought to myself, I go, this is going to be a cool redemption arc. Like, there's going to be a cool narrative redemption arc here and that's why I wanted to highlight the struggle, because the payoff wouldn't be as good if we ignored that.
Mike Carpenter made that graphic, and we told him not to.
No, but I mean, in the back of your mind going into this, what did, like, preparing for World Series and saying, I'm not going to let that happen to me again, what'd that look like?
You want to know what's the truth about it is, we keep a practice tree in the trailer after that race. I think our next day add our practice tree to my house. The one stayed in the trailer, and every time I walk by that practice tree, I hit it. I hit it. I wake up in the morning, let the dogs out, I hit it. And it's just 1 or 2 times. Like, I didn't bore myself with it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't bore myself with it. But, like, I felt like at that time, like, because I hold myself accountable and it's on so many levels where I know that race we should have won, right? But I let my team down. But we also win as a team, lose as a team, right? And nobody was mad. We all knew what went wrong, what was going on, just the entire week. So, like, I wanted to bounce back and overcome that obstacle. So, I made it my goal was to come there. I had talked about it for a couple of weeks, and when I got there, and the guys was like, off the trail, I was, I think, 24 on the first run, and they were like, all right, they knew I wasn't there. I wasn't there to play. Then like I said, I had like a couple 60 likes, and the focus was there from the team once we got the handle on the car, dude. But, like, like I said, you're only as good as your last race. You're only good as your last play, right? And that process was great for me. I learned from that.
What do you make of, where do you think we're at with Pro Street? Like, it feels like it's a growing class. PDRA obviously stepping up the payout over there. I got to tell you, like, I really labored over this over the course of the weekend, just thinking about the future. And whether you're still racing that class or you've moved on to Pro Mod, I'm comfortable with both and happy.
The car will be there. Andy McCaffrey will be driving the car in Pro Street. So,
okay. So I feel like, don't you feel like we've got something with Pro Street? Like, I know we didn't have the car count we wanted at the first 2 races, but that's why I didn't waver. I'm like, no, we're doing exactly what we said we were going to do. We're paying a championship. We're paying the same money. Like, we're going to do this big, because I personally feel like Pro Mod and Pro Street as your main event and co-main event is a home run. Like, we can build on the back of those 2 classes, in my opinion. And I think, like, our job moving forward is to continue to put more energy and enthusiasm and excitement into Pro Street, because, man, there's a ton of those cars that could be a part of this. If we could get everybody to be prepared for the Winter Series, I know that's a challenge for some of these teams to be ready in December, to be ready in January, ready in February. But I think with enough advanced notice and planning, we could see that. I mean, I want that to be a 32 car field at some point in the future. And I think it's there.
I think it's possible. Honestly, I think that class it's got the potential, because if you look at it, I think that we, like, a lot of guys, like, their cars wasn't ready. Obviously they was doing those winter upgrades. And now hopefully, they don't have to do winter upgrades this time next year. And then we can get this class full. There's guys, so many people out there that didn't race. You're looking at the Scott Kincaids or Tim Kincaid. I mean, the Kincaids, the Reagans. Ron Green wasn't there. A lot of the guys, Bill Riddle didn't miss the first 2 races. The Caspers missed the first 2 races. So like, there's a lot of people out there that actually likes it. I think that now you got Roger Holder, and look at Slosh. Like, they swapped their car over for 1 race, and I think Roger Holder likes racing 10.5s. And then we'll
Dude, how can you not, man?
results.
I mean, from a fan perspective, those cars, like, they put on a show, riding the
Yeah,
wheelie
dude.
bars all the way down through there, hanging them skinnies. Like, that's what we want to see. And to me, like, we need more of that. We need more of that.
Yeah. No, Willie. I put on a good show for y'all when I do Willie. When Phil really turned it on and had me riding Willies out there.
Yeah, you do, man. No, I just think there's something there. And I'm kind of looking for like what the next cornerstone of the winter series and like whatever we do next, like, because, we have, your boy's a dreamer here, and I got ideas and things that I want to do next and what the next iteration of these things will be and some things that we're working on. And I'm going, I just really feel, I actually talked to Jimmy Dale in Poland about this. They're kind of my small tire ear to the ground. And I'm going, guys, there's some world-class equipment in this class. There's some really good people. We need to double or triple down on Pro Street and see what's possible, because there are a world of Pro 275 cars that could fit. I mean, there's some opportunity to grab some guys from other walks of the drag racing life, get some guys back out that haven't been out in a while. I mean, dude, I really think it's hot, and we got to continue to make it hot.
Well, you look at Carson,
Yes.
Baker, and you
Baker,
look at
yeah.
Tim Farton. Like, nobody expected them cars to come out there. Well, you expect them because they got world-class tuners, they got world-class equipment, they got nice cars, but they come out there. Tim Farton come out there, top sportsman racer, right? Am I wrong? And he go rounds. I'm like, where did this guy come from?
Exactly, dude. And like, what I like about it is they're willing to play the part. They're there, like you said, with nice cars. Shit's nice. They're professional. They got merch. They're engaging with fans, and like all those things we notice. You know what I mean? And as we kind of look at this thing, if I'm being like truly candid, I think we've got a real issue with like True 10.5 and tires coming apart. There's some rule controversy or whatever. I think Pro 10.5 and as I'm going to call it moving forward, Pro Street.
There you go.
That's the play. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Pro Street is a sustainable thing that we can build on over the course of time. There's a lot of cars that can be competitive. We don't got to reinvent the wheel. I just really feel like that's where, Pro Mod and Pro Street, that's where our energy is going to be for the foreseeable
Pro Street
future.
is fun. Like, these guys, all this in the same, and the same people that's running Pro 10.5, they can put 33s on their car, because half of them are their street outlaw guys. They got that's putting 10.5s on their car and just running it. But like, I feel like that class can grow, and if we can do that, then that'll be so much fun for not only as racers but as fans. To get a full feel. Like I said, the 33 is tricky. You got to have your shit together there. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And you better be able to hang on to a hot rod. And I just think it's got a lot of the things that we're looking for, for the next steps on this whole deal. So next event for you, looking at the PDRA season opener, keeping behind the wheel of training day. Tell us about that, man. I mean, you've raced at Darlington before, Notorious Grudge Racing Track. You've raced there, haven't you?
I've never been down the racetrack as a driver, but
Okay.
I've raced there.
But you've been there, yeah.
Yeah. That's like I said. That's us. We'll get there. We got I'll be driving the car Thursday. My Andy will drive the car Wednesday to get his to get through some process license stuff. But I'll hop in the car Thursday probably for one lap, unless he don't have his stuff. But it's just it's the owner's decision, and it's a team decision. Let him get some laps in the car, which he's been driving forever. But he need to get some things done. So there we'll be racing, and me, Casey, and the team, and we'll have a lot of fun. Hopefully.
What do you make of? So I know your new Pro Mod program is it still at this point built around a screw blower?
It is a screw blower. It got a rooster head on it.
I like it. So tell me, like
Jimmy Dale said.
Yeah, like Jimmy Dale said. Do you like, I mean, do you think there's a pathway, like as a guy who's raced nitrous, for a long time at a high level and has, the latest, greatest stuff, like what's your kind of take on where nitrous is at as a whole, like specifically in pro modified racing, but has that ship sailed? I mean, are we staring down the barrel of only being able to race those cars against one another, or what's your thoughts on it?
No, nitrous cars can't compete. I think that nitrous cars can't compete and go rounds. You look at Jimmy Halsey. He been mid 350s before, and I think that nitrous cars can't compete. It's just, is it your day or is it not your day? But I like the Halsey family and so much respect for them. I always go to their facility, which is like 45 minutes from my house, and support them. But nitrous cars can't compete.
I agree. I mean, and it's such a tough thing. Like I was bummed out, Jim didn't make the runs that I know he wanted to make or felt like he could have made. And I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you, because it's a problem when there's really only a handful of guys. I mean, I love having Matt Deach. We've got some support, Andrew Handress. I mean, we've got some great guys that come out and give it hell. Right. But I'm kind of trying to decide, what is the next move for that? Because I actually got an email from a fan the other night or last night. And it was like, hey, do you think that there is a future where the turbo and the nitrous cars are more in the conversation than they are? And I got to tell you, I feel like Jimmy Taylor would have qualified, in the top couple of spots, more than likely, had he not wrecked during testing. He had definitely made representative runs earlier in the week. Luis De Leon made some hella strides with his program, ended up going 363 before the end of the weekend, win a few rounds in the Outlaw Light Beer wildcard shootout. And then, like you said, Jimmy Halsey, I mean, he's proven time and time again that he can go mid-50s. And we've seen the KTR team with, a handful of different drivers show that they can do it as well, at least in radial trim. So I don't know what the answer is, Fletcher.
In waves, man. It is. And we're so quick at making knee-jerk reactions on all this stuff. Like, somebody will find something, it happens, and then everybody will be making the switch the other way, going, "Oh,
got to put weight on the flat hoods." That's all.
Weight on the flat hoods. Yeah, weight on the flat hoods. Trust me, it is. It's weighing heavily on. But I got to tell you, man, I was really happy just with the level of competition, the amount of different cars and drivers represented, the different combinations represented. I don't want to see nitrous or roots blower combinations go the way of the dodo. We ended up taking, a considerable amount of weight off the nitrous cars and the roots cars headed into World Series, just trying, to create a path for them. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Bob Glenn at this last race. He felt like he was outgunned and wasn't sure what to make of it. But I mean, he's been in the 50s. I feel like that combination isn't a mile off. But I'm looking to give it some help moving forward, man. But yeah, I'm seeing some comments here. Injected nitro. I'm out on nitro. I'm 100% out on nitro meth.
No. I think it'll all come back. It'll come back. Right? You know how like JT said, this thing goes in waves.
It does, man.
I think that, like I said, your series bring the best out of everybody. Like, is like I'm gonna tell you, like the other day I was pulling in, I looked to the side left and right, and I saw the stands full of people, and I was like, holy shit.
Dude, that joint was
like,
jumping.
I'm getting ready to do a burnout. I'm ready to do a burnout. I'm like, look at the people. I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm not, and I had to shake myself off. Like, you've been here before. Straight ahead.
We had a pro race there, Fletch. Some of those pro drivers, they'd never really been in that environment before, and they said they come in that corner, to do the burnout.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, man. Because on the NHRA line, they never had to run through those people like that.
Like, well, you think about like Peter Norton. Who nobody knew who Peter Norton, right? Peter Norton, right?
Norton. Yeah.
Nobody knew. Nobody. Everybody's like, who is this guy? I'm like he's been here the whole series. Y'all just haven't been paying attention to this car.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, this man been going rounds. Like, nobody been paying him no attention. He
got my attention when he qualified at the first race. I go, I'm impressed. Like, I did not see that coming, but I also knew that he had Ricky Jones Jr. tuning on the car. He had great power. I'm going, okay, he's got a good car from Larry Jeffers. I'm going, okay, this guy could do it. And the next thing I know, I like you said, Fletcher, he goes rounds at every race. And I'm
Yes.
like, holy shit, like this guy's consistently winning rounds and he's having to race nonstop bears. This is all bears. And I couldn't have been happier for him. I mean, the dude was literally sitting in the grandstands watching this race a year ago and he just won the championship. Pretty incredible, man. But don't you think that that's some of the magic? Like when you're there, I mean, I wrote this the other day, like you're a legit A-list celebrity athlete and you've been in all these big environments, Super Bowls, playoff games, high energy things. But like this whole coming together, like the stars of the PDRA, the stars of the Midwest, the stars of the NHRA, the stars of the IHRA, all these people that rarely cross paths coming together, like seeing you guys in the staging lanes with Street Outlaw guys and with NHRA guys, like that's what I'm most proud of. And I really think that that's part of the magic.
That is the
Oh,
magic.
absolutely. Everybody get along. Like it's part of everything. And I think that's like that's the homecoming of drag racing because, if we look at it, we're done PDRA. And then like, I feel like the World Series is the homecoming of drag racing where you got 3 races where it's like racing don't stop. If you look at it, there's no off season now.
There is
no off season whatsoever, man.
You
It's
talking
crazy.
about, I need to get this done, get that done. Well, we got 2 weeks off, so you better schedule your tactic. Like you
we
better
gotta
like schedule something.
Make sure we squeeze PRI in there in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
No. Yeah. I go MIA on that. I was there at PRI, but I was not there.
Yeah. I tell you
I
what,
went to
there's
the
no shame
banquet
in
and I
that game.
went home.
Yeah, there's no shame in that game, dog. Well, Fletcher, congratulations. Thank you for being a part of this, man. Like you're a gracious dude, you're a selfless dude, and I love working with you. I love having you on our roster, and I can't wait to see what we're able to do together next.
Yes, sir, man. I look forward to it. If anything, like I said, I'll see y'all around like a donut.
You got it, brother. We'll see you at that PDRA race. Talk to you soon, big dog. Thank
All
you,
right,
brother. Be careful. Bye-bye.
See you, Fletch.
Oh my goodness. Hey gang, let me take a quick second here and remind you that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by way of our friends at Redline Synthetic Oils, formulated to win, proven by you. We're talking about a brand trusted by the best in the business. Ty Tutterow, Steve Torrance, Callie Mills, Spencer Hyde, Scott Palmer, Tommy Franklin, the list goes on. These aren't just weekend warriors. These are champions, killers, and contenders who rely on Redline to get the job done. Formulated to win, proven by racers like you. Check out their full lineup at redlineoil.com. And what a timely script read. I don't know that could have happened any better. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friend of ours here at Drag Illustrated, Redline Oil's own Mark Beatty. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, how are you guys?
What's up,
Man, even better now. I mean, we just finish up talking to Fletcher Cox, the champ's here. Now we're talking to Mark Beatty. Mark, I mean, first and foremost, man, thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting this craziness. I told you that in an email the other night that like you've helped make this guy's dream come true, and I can't thank you enough for that. Your belief from the jump, from day one, whatever you want to do, Wes, I got your back. And it has been an incredible ride, and I honestly can't wait to see what comes next. I'd love to hear, I mean, we just heard Fletcher talking about the crowd, and I don't mean to put you on the spot or turn this into like a testimonial, but I would love, as somebody who's been around the world, seen a lot of motorsports, been a part of a lot of things, I mean, what was just your takeaway from the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod presented by Redline Oil?
You know, you're right. We get a chance to do a lot of things, attend a lot of different events, all types of power sports and motorsports, and you know, Wes, when you get to be a point where all of a sudden it's like there's this vibe, right? I mean, because everybody works really hard at putting on events, everybody has their angle, everybody has everything else, but the one thing you can't buy, there's no place you can buy, you can't get enough sponsors to create an electricity or a feeling or a vibe. And there's just something about the entire winter series. But, you know, of course, you know, last weekend down at Bradenton for the World Series of Pro Mod, just the energy in that place. I mean, you could feel it when you were out in the parking lot, and you could see. It's almost like you could see the hustle in everybody in their car, right? You know, because they pulled into their parking spot, and it wasn't like anybody was dilly-dallying around doing this, doing that. I mean, they were hustling. They were like going, we can't wait to get in the gate. We have to go, you know, stuff like that. You know, moms and dads are dragging kids and says, come on, let's go. And I know it sounds silly, but the truth of the matter is that's what this deal is all about, right? It's like it's a happening. It's the place to be, and for us as a brand, I think I said this, one other time is the fact that I don't care what brand you have, who you are out there, or whatever, to not be involved in something like this. I mean, if you're a company that's into drag racing, if you're in a company that's into performance or anything, it's what you guys make this easy for all of us. And I don't know how else to phrase that, because I'm not trying to, like you said, it's not like you're trying to make this an endorsement or whatever, but it's like you make it to where we don't have to think about it. All we have to do is be there, participate, pay attention, and we're along for the ride. And it's friggin' awesome. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's
Thanks for
crazy.
that, man.
It's really cool.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, it is so humbling hearing it from you,
Yep.
and to hear that throughout the course of the weekend, because like I'm obviously biased and I almost pull myself back like in these settings because I don't want to be like too over the top or be this like braggadocious prick or whatever. But there is truly something special happening here. Like, and the energy, I don't know how to describe it to people, but everybody there is having the time of their life. Like, and I started giving people a hard time on Saturday. I decided I was seeing some guys kicking rocks after they went 361, and I grabbed a couple of them. Todd Tutterow, they went like 363 one day, and I grabbed him. I said, Todd, smile, bro. It's okay. Like, you've got the baddest door. Like, you're part of the most elite group of drag racers that exist. Like, it's okay. Smile, like cheer up, like look,
attitude, man.
but but that's what I love about it. I mean, because it's like everybody's having a great time. But Jim Parks, a longtime friend of Drag Illustrated here in the comment, is saying, Saturday at World Series of Pro Mod is more intense than, the NHRA US Nationals on Monday. And I don't say that disparagingly because there's perhaps not a bigger fan of the NHRA than myself. And I consider those guys partners in crime in a lot of ways. I mean, what we're doing, we're aligned on a lot of different levels, and I truly support everything that they're doing, but it's not an either or conversation. That's what I'm trying to prove. It's not either NHRA or Winter Series. It's not either any of these things or Winter Series. The reason our deal exists in the winter and in the off season is because I want to be a complementary piece to everything else that's going on in our space. And I want to be supportive and help build stars that can carry that brand and that sizzle off to wherever they roam next. I mean, it's an important thing for us. And the vibe there, the enthusiasm is infectious. I mean, and it produces that intensity as well, where Friday night, dude, you could have cut the tension with a knife. I mean, you see Erica bump into the field. She's stoked. Can't believe it. Two pairs later, she gets bumped out.
That last qualifier is probably the most intense time of the race because, and there's so many cars that like, we're in, and the mix of emotions, and then they watch themselves get bumped out or whatever. I mean, it is wild.
And knowing that you like went 59 and you think you're safe or whatever, but you
run ever.
Yeah, there were guys who made their personal best, and still find themselves. I will tell you, as excited as I was to introduce the Outlaw Light Beer Wildcard Shootout, I definitely think I'm going to spend some time thinking about that program. We had a handful of guys not participate. I understand nobody wants to feel like they're racing in the secondary thing, but I'm going to continue to pour more energy in that because for me, I want our show on Saturday. I thought about it from, the return on investment from a fan. I mean, you essentially got to see 10 rounds of Pro Mod racing on Saturday. That to me is like 10 rounds of Pro Mods. Like this is bananas. This is absolutely bananas. And this isn't like your local yokel Pro Mods. Like these are the world's best. And to me, like that event is so close to exactly what I want. And we will continue to tighten it up. We've got, Mark and you and I were talking this morning, like there's plenty of room for improvement. There's plenty of room for growth, but as long as we can keep the spirit alive, Pro Mod Gordo, he's been to every big time grudge race. He's in the comments right now. It was great to see you. Cousin Wessie was glad to see you on the starting line there a little bit. We didn't get to hang out as I wanted to, but no, I mean, there is truly something magic happening here. And it's that, I mean, many of your customers like Sean Reed, Jasmine Salinas, like seeing those guys and gals from the NHRA, higher
on the starting line.
On the starting line, taking this in, like the Doug Coletta thing, he told me, he's like, I've never really been to a drag race that wasn't an NHRA national event. Like I didn't even know this was happening. in our space. And he goes like, I'm impressed. Like I'm here for it. And that to me just kind of continues to cement this notion that we're creating something of an all-star league, you know, and if I have my druthers, we will have more of those nitro guys, you know, dipping their toes in the water 3 times a year in the off season, you know, to be a part, to mix it up with the baddest of the bad. I mean, because that will, you know, and at the rate we're going, I mean, I've sworn off 64 car fields, but the more stuff that's being built, I don't know, man. You never know where this thing is going.
But you know, you said a couple things that I think kind of summarizes, you know, what we're talking about when you're trying to build something that everybody wants to be a part of, right? It's like Tutterow kicking rocks with a 62. It's like, I mean, think about that statement. It's like, are you kidding me? You know, a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, you'd be doing backflips. You know, if you ran a 62, but the event means that much to these people or whatever. And I think that's no different than the outlaw, you know, race. It's like people were, I didn't get the sense that anybody was disappointed that they were in the second 32 or whatever, but you doesn't take a genius to figure out that it was probably a letdown, you know, I guess, because it means so much to be racing, you know, in the top 32 that it's like, wow, it is disappointing, but it's not. To me, it's just, I don't know. That's a side piece, just showing what you have going on matters, right? It's relevant. Every single thing at that event is relevant and stuff. And so, I mean, it makes you bring your A game. And you know, it's like Fletcher said. You know, I mean, sometimes it's your day. Sometimes it's not, right? When he's talking
100%. I mean, this sport will
even the chip draw is that first chip draw, because everybody's seen, you know, who went fast and who just made the field or whatever, and you know, or maybe 2 of the fast guys, you know, the fastest guys in the field draw each other, you know, or 2 of the street outlaw guys draw each other, you know. I mean, that first chip draw is so much fun to watch.
Dude, the chip draws are probably my favorite part of the whole deal. Like, just seeing, I envision these things, I imagine them, and I had seen that play out like 100 times in my mind before we ever did the first one. Like, I can't wait to see what the reaction is when Kai Kelly draws Stevie Fast Jackson. You know what I mean? Or when Melanie Salemi draws Ty Tutterow. Right. Like some of these matchups that have some meat on the bone, you know, and I'm going to see those things just continue to be delivered. I mean, we get, you know, it was a little bit of a mixed bag with Sean Ellington and Ryan Martin drawing each other, but just the fact that they were in that room, name me another time that Erica Enders and Aaron Stanfield and Mark Mickey and all these guys were in the room together that, competing against one another. It is a really, and I think we need to take a second and just tip our cap, you know, for all the hubbub on social media about street outlaws and no prep kings not being real racers, not being able to hang at the upper echelons of our sport. Stevie Jackson said it right here on this podcast a couple of weeks ago. If you can qualify for any of those 3 races, you have his respect, as you do mine. And the fact that Sean Ellington qualified the way he did, the fact that Ryan Martin qualified the way he did, the performance we saw out of Kai Kelly, Robin Roberts, Callie Mills is probably the one. I mean, she was in the thick of this thing. I mean, on Friday night, honestly, I would have had a hard time betting against her. You know, like Lee White, her dad, Dwayne Mills, like they've got a real hot rod. They run it hard. They're not afraid to work on it.
You know, there's another draw. The 2 cars that were at the yard house drew each other.
Oh yeah, that was so cool to have Billy Danica and Callie Mills, the only 2 cars we had on property at Yard House for our pre-race kickoff party, end up having to run each other. It just one little magic moment after another, and I'm genuinely sad it's over, man. I mean, you put all this energy and effort into it, and then it just happens, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know that I can wait 6 or 8 months or whatever to run it back. I mean, I don't know, man. It's an exciting time. It really is.
I don't know Sean Ellington, but you know, it's crazy because me and him passed each other, you know, a dozen times, you know, up on the starting line or whatever. And it's just, it's one of those deals, the intensity that was in his eyes
Oh yeah.
You know, and stuff. I mean, and he could be an incredibly serious guy all the time. Like, because I don't really know him or whatever, but it's just like you walk by the people and you see the intensity in their eyes, and it's like wow, that's super
He's
cool.
a super
You know,
good guy. We got
Fletcher laughs. Yeah, Fletcher laughs about turning through the water and seeing the crowd and going, "Holy!" He laughs at that, and which is really really funny because it's such a special feeling. So it's like from the Fletcher side of things, where guys are truly living a dream, living in the moment, to other ones that are so intense because they understand what's on the line. They understand, what this all means and stuff. And so,
and what it means to like our sport, and like what is happening here, I
Yeah.
believe is bigger than any one of us. Like I have said for years and years and years that drag racing is the great American motorsport. We just have not told the story the way it needs to be told. And I feel like we are making progress. Like it is, to have this level of belief, to have that fanfare. I mean, for 100 years, the belief was that door slammers on their own could not fill a track, that you had to have jet cars, you had to have nitro, you had to do something else or you had to do free tickets, you had to do something. And when I rolled into that place at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, so I could be there for the SEMA PRI Bound for Glory prayer breakfast with the Racers for Christ people and Jason Terrell and his whole team, it was like the place was already packed at 8 a.m. on Saturday. And I'm going, this is proof positive that the cars don't really like. I believe pro mods are badass, but I'm telling you, it's the drivers, it's the stars, it's the characters, it's the personalities. That's what draws a crowd. And focusing on those people more and more and more is the name of the game.
Were you guys taken back a little bit on that Fletcher, when he mentioned the crowds coming around the corner and seeing the crowds and being like, oh shit? I mean, honestly, wrap your head around some of the crowds that Fletcher has played in front of.
Yeah, exactly. If it gets his attention,
I'm talking 100,000 people in the stands, I mean, really. And this gets his attention. That's crazy.
Well, dude, and you didn't have to stare at the results sheets very long. Shout out to our race director, Gavin Carter. He sent me these over earlier in the week, and I was just looking through them, and it's like some of these uncharacteristic. I mean, Stevie Jackson going 001 red in round 2. You got Sean Ellington going 006, or excuse me, going 006, and Eric Gustafson going 115 red against Ellington there in the quarterfinals. There was another surprising red light somewhere throughout this whole thing that I'm trying to find. But my point is just that pressure burst pipes, man. I mean, it is, this is an environment. We had Jason Harris on this show, Marcus Burt in the past, some guys that have won everything under the sun, telling us that like their heart's beating through their chest when they roll through that puddle of water and see that, sea of humanity. But that's what these guys deserve. And that's what we will not stop working to give them, is because I know I'm going to get the best out of them if we bring the crowd and we bring the energy. And by God, they delivered in spades, man. I want to take a quick second. Mark, you actually mentioned this in an email the other night, but I got to give a huge shout out to our entire team. I mean, really, we're a very horizontal company by design. There's not like a real pecking order at Drag Illustrated. There's not a super crazy pecking order at BMP. We're horizontally built companies because we're all in it together. And I got to give it up to the whole staff at Bradenton Motorsports Park, Vic Alvarez, obviously Josh Dowda, Cletus himself, Garrett Mitchell, Ryan Warning, Tiffany Dowda, Tyler Lockery.
By the way.
Oh, the flyover after the national anthem was ending. Here comes Cletus.
Prayer,
dive bomb in the track. I
mean, everything was awesome there too.
Our staff at Beatty in this water box, or in the staging lanes. We got Paul and Gary, Aqua Bob, all of our guys that are running the back of the track there. We've got
Ryan Warning.
Ryan Warning, obviously doing infrastructure and logistics at the event throughout the whole thing. Our tech team, I can't say enough about John Sears, Jenny, Mike Washington, Jim Cunningham, everybody that's involved, Rock Carzoli, Josh, everybody that's involved with our tech team. We keep our racers safe. We keep the racing close. They did a fantastic job throughout the weekend. Our race director, I mentioned earlier, Gavin Carter, does a great job of keeping things rocking and rolling. Wade, Rich, and Gary handling track prep duties, keeping the track fast and safe. our Russ and the whole team with Motorsports Safety Response and our local ambulance and EMT staff that do a great job keeping people safe, taking care of folks, whether it's fans or racers or sponsors or whomever may have some sort of health situation. We've got the right people on the property to keep them safe and keep them healthy. My whole team at Drag Illustrated, yourself, JT, Mike Carpenter, Nancy Coppin, JB and Tom, Chadwick, the whole gang at the Yard House, who have actually become a big part of our family, which is kind of crazy. Craig Cook and Nate Van Wagenen, Cody Sprague absolutely crushed it on social media and content wise for us this weekend. You couldn't get on social media and not be, not see something about the World Series. I tasked them with that earlier in the week. I said, I do not want to get on social media and have an hour go by that I am not reminded of something that's happening at this race. We are the ones, we curate the news, we control the narrative, we've got to hammer down, and they delivered in spades. Blake here at home, helping with us, all of our video productions, all of our social media graphics. Like, we had tons of this stuff, created a tremendous amount of content throughout the course of this deal. Our partners with Flow Racing, Tom Bobaltz, Courtney Enders, Kayla Morton, the whole team, Eric, Mike Levy, Chris McKee, Michael Rigsby, Ben, everybody involved, Andrew, everybody involved at Flow that have become a really, really big part of what we do. Chris Jennings, his team at Project Prime, Joe and Nico,
Amanda, Darlene, and all the girls.
Amanda, Darlene, all of our gate staff, Taylor, Rose. They did an absolutely fantastic job.
I mean, they took. There's been very few events I've been to where the gate staff have been applauded. It's always a fight, but I'm telling you, they did a really good job.
Yeah, across the board, man. And I think that this is what happens when you get a lot of people together that are serving a common mission, that are serving a common goal and care. That's really what it boils down to, is giving a shit. I tasked everybody with giving a shit. Care. Yep. Treat these people like they're your guests. Treat these people like you're glad they're there. Don't give them a hard time. Like, I have that conversation. Like, these races are not the same as other races. These are not people that bought a tech card and just showed up. These people, by and large, were invited to participate at this race, and they need to feel that feeling of being wanted, being desired from start to finish.
And you and I share that, Wes, because it's like when I look at Team Redline Oil and the people that I have on that team, they matter to me. They matter to me more than just being customers or more than just being racers or something. I mean, to the core of who I am, they matter. And your staff, it's what you're saying. Everybody at that facility, at that race, they feel like they matter. They matter to you guys and gals because it shows. It's just like you said, you task them, to treat people a certain way, and dude, it shows. I mean, we all felt like we mattered. I went up to, JT, you said something about the gate staff, people I got there the first time, and she was greeting me. She was really nice. She says, "What list are you on?" And I says, "Does Victor have a list?" And she says, "Yeah." And I says, "Well, I'm on Victor's shit list then." And she started laughing. She says,
friends with his cousin. They told me I could come.
He ain't got one of those,
Well, and it was
that.
like
So
a lot
was
of times
funny.
these things are rooted in common sense and common courtesy. Treat people like they matter, treat them the way you want to be treated, and the rest will pretty well work itself out. And, our entire team there, I couldn't be more proud of it. And just what's happening is undoubtedly special. Mark, I know you've got another call coming up, so we will cut you loose. But I just want to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Sure,
and none of this is possible without Mark Beatty and Redline Oil.
Man, we love you guys, and thank you for all your hard work and everybody watching that was at the event. Man, it was awesome. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mark. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
See ya.
Hey guys, let me take a quick second and remind you that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by way of our friends at Stroud Safety. Stroud Safety is known for their top quality racing safety equipment, from drag chutes and seatbelts to fire suits and blankets, all 100% made in America. Means something to me. I hope it means something to you. Log on to StroudSafety.com and make sure you tell them we sent you. Boys, we got the man of the hour. We've got the doer of all doers, right? The man we talk about rising to the occasion. We talk about diving into shark-infested waters. This young man has been a star in our sport for many, many moons. I've known his family for a really long time and never thought in my wildest day I would see his name on the entry list at one of our events. That dream came true in 2025 and 26. And when it was all said and done, he was the last man standing at the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod presented by Redline Oil. Let's give it up for Aaron Stanfield.
Hi, guys.
What up, buddy? Hey, man, it's great to see your smiling face. Congratulations, dude. I know you're at Gainesville getting ready to switch gears and start banging gears in a Pro Stock car, but can you just give us a little bit of a glimpse? We played the video earlier in the show, watching Jolie crash down to her knees in celebration, your kids losing their mind, your family going nuts, your entire team at Elite Motorsports. Like, does it feel real yet? I mean, what's the reaction been like in Gainesville? I mean, tell us about winning the World Series of Pro Mod.
I think, every single person that I've seen in Gainesville has you can tell how big of a deal this is. Every single person has told me congratulations and how proud they are. And, I think one of my favorite parts of the winner's circle is my daughter had a big old wad of the money. And she says, Daddy's got a lot of money. He's going to buy me something.
Oh, you better, Aaron. You better buy them whatever they want.
I will. She normally gets her way.
Good. I know how that goes, and so I'm not surprised. But it was that moment in the winner's circle, like just seeing. I know how hard this has not been an easy battle for yourself. Elite Motorsports, you found yourself on the outside looking in. Got it done late in the game. You guys struggled throughout the winner's series, and I had a lot of conversations with Richard Freeman and Scott Tidwell about this. Like, hey, this is a relatively new program. We got some new equipment. We got some new people working together. You're not. This isn't like a warm-up race. This is a tough place to go get your feet underneath you. But do you feel like being thrust into that kind of, as I mentioned earlier, shark-infested waters, did that kind of help prepare you for when the opportunity presented itself for you to make a run, you were going to be ready for it?
I think shark-infested waters is an understatement. I mean, the competition out there is incredible. I think I've been in enough situations and been in enough different cars that, on my end, it doesn't matter. I feel like any car I get in, I should pretty quickly be doing my job behind the wheel, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, I do think Richard Freeman, might be a little crazy for, the winter series to be my very first runs in a Pro Mod car ever. But man, his support for me and, his confidence in me is very empowering as a driver. It gives me a lot of confidence behind the wheel. I mean, Richard being Richard, he says, if you get qualified for this race, you could win. He told me that the entire weekend. And, I'm just
no cuss words or anything.
Say that. Well, he might have been a little more colorful than that, as you could imagine. But man, I think, the big thing at first was, the guys that have driven that car that I was racing in the past, they weigh quite a bit more than I do. And these things wheelie a lot further than, a Pro Stock car does for sure. So you can't drive them when the front wheels are up in there. So it took several runs to kind of get the weight balance right to where it would go straight with the front end up there, or, get it to where I could at least get it down the racetrack. And man, once we did that last qualifying run, we made a really nice lap. And I knew if we could just keep the car going. I had been driving pretty decent all weekend, and I saved my worst light for the final round, of course. But I knew we had a good shot at doing well, and I know a lot of people probably didn't expect that, but I mean, I felt confident about it.
What do you make of Chris, Terry? I mean, and what he's brings to that team? I think that Chris is kind of a guy that's a lesser known in our space. Like, I've known him for a long time. I met him at Huntsville, what seems like 100 years ago, when he was kind of earning his stripes, crewing on different cars. But I would argue that he put his name in the mix as a legit world-class shot caller out here in this space this past weekend. What was that whole experience like, working with him, I know there's a lot of brains that are involved in that deal, the Proline group, Tidwell's group, Elite Motorsports' group. What was that whole experience like?
I mean, Chris is absolutely incredible. I know he's gonna, he gives credit to other people. I can tell that's just the kind of person that he is. But man, that was I'm thankful I got to do that. He's a great person, and he was a lot of fun to work with. Um, you know, I think he told me that was his first big stage, big pro mod win, kind of on his own. So that was a really big moment for both of us, and I agree. If that doesn't put his name at the top of the list, he would have beat the tournament race car. And he did an incredible job. Given the racetrack was a little bit more tricky. Throughout that whole series,
more.
I think that was the worst. The hottest the racetrack had gotten, and it just made it a lot more challenging. And he did a great job, navigating it. And he sure bailed my ass out there in the final round because I missed the tree, and he stepped it up, and we made an incredible run there in the final. So I think he's got a bright future as far as he wants to take it, and I'm thankful to have gotten to work with him, and I look forward to if I ever get the opportunity to do it again.
You better, by God. I'll call Richard right now. You got to come back and run it back and defend your crown, brother.
If I know Richard, I'm sure he's already working on it.
Yes, I agree, man. Can you tell me, like, one of the things we talked about earlier with Mark Beatty was just, you've obviously, we're huge fans of the NHRA here. It's no secret that I grew up pro stock racing with my dad. It's a big part of what we do, but was there something like satisfying about the fact that Door Slammer drag racing was the show at the Winter Series? Because I think you're kind of from a similar school of thought that I am, and a lot of the prevailing wisdom is that you can't sell tickets to a drag race if you don't have nitro, and that the fans only care about nitro. But I think we have demonstrated that that's clearly not the case.
This whole event has proven that theory totally wrong. Just seeing, and again, I think you guys, Wes, and all of you guys at Drag Illustrated have done such an incredible job of promoting our sport and promoting this series. And I think the effort that goes into it it shows just how much popularity this thing is. It's gained a lot of traction. And, I race in NHRA, but I sure do think they could take a few notes from you guys on how to do some things, because y'all did an incredible job. And I'm just super thankful I got to be in the middle of it.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, I couldn't have been happier. Like, I go into these things and we make them invitational for a reason. I want people to feel wanted. I want them to feel desired. We want you to be a part of what we're doing, but it also gives me some control. You know what I mean? Like, I know who's coming, I know who's involved, and I know that there's opportunities that exist with all of them. And when we were getting down to 8 cars, 4 cars, I'm going, no matter what happens here, we got some real superstars that we can get behind, we can promote, we can turn into household names. And I'll tell you, to have somebody that has been a front runner in NHRA Pro Stock, doubled up at the NHRA US Nationals, done all that you've done, I don't know that this could be any sweeter. Like, this is going to be a fantastic ride for the next 9 months or whatever, as we, work together to continue to elevate drag racing as a whole, but specifically what we're doing in the winter with Pro Modified. I hated that your pops wasn't there. He was at the US Street Nationals. We actually bumped into each other a lot.
He was doing my job at home.
He's doing your job at home.
Yep.
But what was it like coming home to him? I mean, what was that experience like?
Well, he's always been a huge background artist, and he pushes me, in the correct ways. To be the best I can be, and he doesn't leave me any room to make any excuses, and I can appreciate that. But man, he was super pumped up. He told me, he says, "You earned some stripes today." So of course, that's always great to get that stamp of approval from your dad. But
A stamp.
So it's just my whole family has just been through the roof. I mean, I don't think anybody, especially with how the first 2 races start, and that's just how drag racing goes. They would have thought we'd have been parked in the in the winner's circle there. I told them kind of at first, my goal is just don't hit anything. So, just to be able to do that, and of course the support of my dad. He's always got my back, and he always tells me I'm here to help you do whatever goal you want to tackle. That's what I'm here to help you do, and it's in so many ways is super special. I think it's one of the, to this point, one of the coolest memories and coolest moments I've been in drag racing, period.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Man.
Well, dude, it means the world to me. Did you get your fire suit dry cleaned? As soon as I started hosing you down with champagne, I go, shit, he's got to wear this thing for like 3 days. But what did you, or do you use the same fire suit, don't you?
So, look, I got that fire suit and the helmet with the fresh air and everything on it because it's the same stuff that I'll be using in the top field car when we get licensed. So I have a different fire suit for this weekend. Thank God.
Okay, good. I was feeling bad. As soon as I started hosing you down, I go, oh, we're going to have to pay for this to get dry cleaned because he's got to wear it in a couple of days.
I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. That was for sure the most memorable winter circle I've ever been a part of. And you guys, I can't say it enough. You guys do an incredible job. And I look forward to the future. And, I'm sure, like I said, knowing Richard, he's probably going to have us a car to keep doing this with, and I just hope I can keep being a part of it in the future, because it is just such a blast, man.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Get your ass back to work. I know you got some racing to do.
I spent the morning working on some art.
Yep. So I told JT, I might have been about second round. I said, I'm holding you to this one, buddy. Because we're going.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. We'll get back to work. Best of luck, and we can't wait to see you again soon. Congratulations on everything. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and our whole team. We love having you be involved with this, dude. We couldn't be more proud of you, and I can't wait to see what we're able to do next together.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you.
Thank you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
We got through this whole thing, JT, and we haven't even talked about like little gangsters. I got to say, awesome. I want to give a huge shout out to Michael Poland, Jimmy Dale, Barrett Green, everybody that helped pull off little gangsters. I mean, if you really think about it, a year ago, we were doing that for the first time, right? And now we had 64 little gangster cars at 3 races in a row. Couldn't be more impressed with just that's a group of guys that makes it easy to get out of bed in the morning, man. Like, it's not hard to have to cheer for them. It's not hard to want to do things for them. And I'm so excited to have little gangsters be a part of what we're doing. We keep close tabs on anything. Those guys don't tear our track up. They don't cause us a lot of problems. They don't put up any fuss. They understand their position as part of our show. They're gracious, they're respectful. And I can't, congratulate Chris Scarletta enough on his win. Just the whole deal. Like, we had guys towing from California, Canada, all over creation. I made a lot of friends. But dude, I am so excited.
They had one of their sons on a Buramax ripping down through there, in a race. I mean, Buramax guys went and took him out back, and practiced with him at first. Barrett out there in the middle of the lanes, working on everybody's car, helping everybody push everybody's car. Barrett does a lot of work.
He does.
In the lanes and stuff. Man, he's always running and helping people.
And we have a blast working with those guys. So I really think the future is bright for Little Gangsters and the Winter Series. I'm excited to grow that program and to continue to expand it. Got to give a huge shout out to Kale and Brennan from Melling Performance for supporting the series, Jeff Stange at Strange Engineering, JC Cassio, and everybody at Strange that were a huge part of making that deal happen. And Paul at No Limit Drag Racing is exactly right. Plus, they're funny as hell 24/7.
They got swag and they're mouthing each other.
Fun to be around, man. Fun to be around.
They get it. They put on a show when they go out there. Like the whole lining up Jimmy Dale, with Poland and shooting the arrow and the throttle wax. I mean, they get it. They get it,
man. I mean,
the easier it is for people to book you in or want you at their event. Like,
and dude, those are the intangible things that make such a big difference. Like, I think about our friend Jeff Rudolph, who had a really unfortunate crash at the season opening Snowbird Outlaw Nationals. But I mean, their whole deal, and the sheriff, and their Air Force guy that does the decks,
absolutely.
These things. I know it. There are probably people sitting in the cheap seats or whatever, or on the internet or whatever, bagging on that type of thing. But I'm telling you, this is like, that's the difference. Like, some guys that understand that a big part of our responsibility out here is to put on a show. We can't do this if we don't have fans. We can't do this if we don't have people that care about it. And if you can find a way to contribute to the show in some way, shape, or form by how you dress, how you behave, man, I'm here for it. I mean, whether it's Barrett Green ripping his shirt off.
If someone breaks in the final, I'm making a run. You know, I ain't just taking the tree and, yeah, that's good. Give me my money. You know, like these people stuck around all weekend to watch you.
100%, man. I mean, the whole deal, I was super stoked with, you know, True 10-5 was a really, you know, hot thing that I'm super excited that we got involved with. I'm excited for their next race, going to Shady Side for Corey Stamper's big King of the South shootout. They'll have, you know, I believe 64 plus of those cars down there going to battle for $75,000.
Like a $7,500 practice tree deal going on too.
Yeah, I'm going to bring a big practice tree. Some of our fans in the stands on Saturday cornered me and said, let's do a big money practice tree deal next year. So we're going to do a big money practice tree deal at the party Thursday night at the track next year. I'm going to get some drivers involved, and we're going to make it a big pot and get and really blow that up. But just the whole deal, dude. I got to give a huge shout out to everybody. Our 460 bike racers. I don't know that I've seen a group of racers that are more gracious and respectful than that group. I can't wait to grow that program, get more people involved, more racers involved with 460 bikes. They're a great addition to the program, decidedly different than anything else that's happening at the racetrack, but they run fast. They put on a show. They're again, great people. Super excited to have them involved. All of our sportsman competitors, I mean, 650 index, 750 index, super pro. We had a tremendous show of support this past weekend. And I really can't say enough about it, JT, man. The more we talk about it, the more I want to run it back next weekend. If there wasn't the Gators going on, I may try.
Aaron, she said she already do a trophy for us, which they killed it too with the trophies and the coins.
Yeah, huge shout out to Aaron Davis and the whole team at Blue Ribbon. They did a fantastic job.
Awesome.
The cups are awesome. All of our racers were stoked with the trophies. I think she's already sold a dozen of them to Richard Freeman and Scott Tidwell.
There were triple crystals at Yard House. Give them back.
Yeah, somebody stole a bunch of our shit at Yard House, but that's okay. They can have it. No big deal.
Hey, man, fans are they're you know, they see that and they're probably like, holy shit, that's so awesome. I want that for my
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I ain't mad at nobody.
I'm actually sitting over here, Aaron. I'll give it back to you sometime, but no, I'm joking.
Oh, dude, the whole deal was absolutely incredible. JT, Mike, I can't believe that we get to do this stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so grateful that this is what we get to do. And I just can't wait to get back to the drag strip. There's so much exciting stuff going on in 2026. I mean, there's some really, really, really great things happening in our space. And I just can't wait to see what happens next, man. I'm looking forward to getting out to some PDRA races this season. Looking forward to the shakedown in Martin, Michigan later this year with Donald Long and Keith Haney. I'm excited about the Midwest Drag Racing Series. Obviously NHRA, I'm not going to make it to Gainesville this weekend. I had planned on trying to maybe make pop in for a day. But we just got too much stuff going on. We got some exciting things that we're working on for later this year that I'm really fired up about and can't wait to share with you guys. But yeah, dude, I couldn't be more grateful for this whole group of people and what we've been able to do together. I think we have demonstrated that Door Slammer, pro modified drag racing, if the sport has a best foot to put forward, this is it. This is truly it. And to grow with these folks the way that we have and to have so much enthusiasm and momentum, I really think this is a group of people that can do whatever we want to do. You know, if we can keep everybody swimming in the same direction, pulling the rope the same way, I really think there is no telling where this thing is going to be. And Clint Stroke is correct. Yellow Bullet will be one we cannot miss. I was talking to Jim Halsey about Yellow Bullet in the pits this weekend. I can't wait to get back up to Cecil County Dragway. I'm dragging JT. We're going to make sure that Pro Mod Gordo goes. And Clint's asking where Mike's at. His daughter Caroline had a field trip today, and around here at Drag Illustrated, my guys don't miss their kids' field trips. So I told him, go on your field trip with your daughter. That's way more important than this show. We'll have Mike back next Wednesday, same time, same bat channel, man. But there's so much stuff going on right now that I feel is positive that I just can't wait to see what's next, dude. It's like watching a movie.
It really is. It's been a long winter, but I knew it would be like this though. Like you're so tired, and I'm tired, of course, you know, the past couple of days, but then you're also it's also, I'm not so sure it's all being tired as it is, it's over for a little bit, but I guess it is basically the season has just started and everything else. So we don't have to look very far if we want something to do.
No, man, it's I mean, shoot, dude, with some of this stuff that we got cooking, we could be flying somewhere and working on some deals this weekend. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, Wes, take a breath. Don't, because you know how I am. I'm wound up like a physic woodpecker right now, and it's like, okay, I just want to do all this stuff right now. But we'll take a little bit of a break. We got to get you tattooed up. That's obviously first priority. Get you tattooed up, and then
I'm gonna do it live on the show or something.
We should.
We'll definitely get some footage of it.
Yes, we'll definitely get some footage. Well, hey guys, I just want to thank every fan that bought a ticket, that sat in those stands, that walked around and treated my racers like rock stars. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Every racer, every crew member, every sponsor, every stakeholder, every track worker, everybody that helped make this thing possible. We can't do it alone. It takes an army, they say, and it certainly takes an army to put on an event like this and to do what this group of people is doing. I couldn't be more proud. I'm so glad and blessed to be in the game with all of you, and I can't wait to see where we're able to go next, because as I like to say, this is fertile soil we are walking around on, and I promise your boys here at DI are just getting started.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next Wednesday right here on the Drag Illustrated YouTube channel. And don't forget to click like, click subscribe, help us spread the gospel of drag racing, and we'll see you at the racetrack.
Later, y'all.